Filmed by Bob Ellis.
The defendant will stop eating grapes and projecting the...
Good evening and welcome to the Golden Years of Hollywood. Tonight, one of the toughest, roughest, most extraordinary movies that I've presented already in 2001. And I think when we get to the end of 2001, The Hill will still be a standout. Sean Connery, Harry Andrews, great cast, powerful movie directed by Sidney Lumet. And then after The Hill, something a little more tolerable. Bugles in the afternoon in Technicolor, based on a story by Ernest Haycox featuring Ray Milland, Forrest Tucker and Helena Carter. Well, our main movie tonight is The Hill, and we'll have The Hill in just a moment.
For 40 years, war was waged beneath the sea. Submarines faced submarines in close encounters that kept the Cold War from turning red hot. But sometimes these deadly missions went wrong. Such incidents remain closely guarded military secrets. These are the stories of the men who gave their lives to a hidden war in the silent deep.
Here is The Hill. Yes, that is The Hill. An angle of 60 degrees, 35 feet high, and this film was shot in temperatures of 115 degrees in an area of Spain representing North Africa. How would you like to go up that hill and down the other side, then back up again and down? Well, it's a system of humiliation, it's a system of torture, it's a system of whatever you like to call it. But it's The Hill in this film based on a story by Ray Rigby. Ray Rigby, a fine writer, he was in a detention camp for a period during World War II. And from that period in the detention camp, he wrote the story and he wrote a play with a man named R.S. Allen. The film that finally emerged from The Hill is absolutely extraordinary. Directed by Sidney Lumet, shot brilliantly in black and white by Oswald Morris. This is powerful movie making. Strangely, somewhat neglected in assessments of the great movies of the 1960s. With so many inferior, mediocre, and forgettable movies of the 60s, it's amazing to me that The Hill isn't always regarded as one of the best, but it's not. Sidney Lumet had this to say about The Hill. The subject is the nature of fear. The use of fear as a source of power, and the overcoming of fear as a source of strength. Well, that's one way of looking at The Hill. How about tackling it from this point of view, as was indicated in an American review of The Hill? You can take the story at face value as a contest of wills and willpower, but it's also a parable of war, of man's endurance, of the domination of the brutes. Are you ready for this? Of disarray among good men, of disarray among good men, and of man's slavish devotion to outworn creeds. The film is quite a dissection of discipline, the rightness of discipline, and the horrors of discipline when carried to extremes. Yes, it's not an easy film. It's not a film that some people will like. You're right. The first on the far left is Jack Watson. Next to him, Ossie Davis. And then Alfred Lynch and Roy Kinnear. Which one of them is it possible you will not like? And which one will you like? And which one will you feel very sorry for? We'll see as you watch the movie. But there's one it's almost impossible to like. Ian Hendry is superb in this film. Ian Hendry has the power. He looks so right, even though he's in the distance from Harry Andrews. And here he is again. It's almost as if they're living their parts. The line between acting and being is so remote here. And here's Norman Bird. This shot really gives you what time the period of the film is. See what's on the back wall behind Norman Bird? A picture of King George VI. And you see who's with him? Ossie Davis. And I guess it's Ossie Davis who provides a little bit of light relief, light in inverted commas, if that's what you like. Here's another shot involving Ossie Davis, but I want you to go right over to the man there on the far left in uniform. That, of course, is someone else rather special that I like, Ian Bannon. What a fine actor. And also featured in the cast, there's Ian Bannon on the left again, and there's Ian Hendry right there in the rear, and there is Michael Redgrave. Michael Redgrave in one of his most disturbing characterizations. Well, I hope I've done more than just list the cast. I think the cast is exceptional in this film because, as I said a moment ago, the line between acting and being seems to be crossed and recrossed frequently. And when you reach the end of the hill, I think you'll feel you've really suffered.
The following program is classified PG. Fox Classics advise parental guidance is recommended for persons under 15 years.
How do you feel about The Hill? I was going to say, I hope you've enjoyed The Hill, but how can you talk about enjoying The Hill when it's such torture, when it's so harrowing and so distressing? It's quite an amazing film. Can you imagine reactions to that film in 1965? In 2001, those reactions, would they be very different? Or have we been hardened to suffering on the screen? Well, I don't know. It's all up to you, I suppose. Now, coming attractions. Well, I've got some exciting things in store. Here are two films that I'm very keen on that I'm presenting this week on the Golden Years of Hollywood. One of them is in a few nights' time, White Cargo, with Hedy Lamarr and Walter Pidgeon, based on a very famous play, and the film is terrific.
Tondaleo.
It wasn't the heat that drove Ashley crazy. It was Tondaleo.
By the time the sun drops, there's only one thought beating in my mind. Tondaleo, Tondaleo. You tell them that you want to marry me.
Sure. Hawila give me many things. No beat me much, and Tondaleo stay a long time.
I'm the resident in this district, and if she sets her foot in this station again, she'll get a whip across her back if I have to drag her out of your arms to do it.
If he laid a finger on you, I'd put a bullet through him.
one time Tender Leo thinks she'd like to make tiffin for you.
Maybe I should have let you. Might have saved a lot of trouble.
I'm sure you'll enjoy White Cargo. It's going to air on Wednesday night after Woman's World. Yes, Woman's World is back on the golden years of Hollywood, and we have the most wonderful CinemaScope print. Thank you for the people who've written into me saying how much they appreciate seeing films in the proper ratio. Woman's World looks positively stunning, and you'll see it Wednesday night with White Cargo. And here's another treat coming up this week. Well, it's next weekend, and it's something I like very much. Clark Gable, Jean Harlow, Wallace Beery, Rosalind Russell, China Seas.
China Seas, and your magic dream of adventure come true. The Orient, land of thrilling romance. Indochina, Malay, Singapore. Fabled cities, the meeting place of souls weary of the humdrum drabness of civilization, thirsting for the siren call of danger, the bizarre, the different. Where carmine lips entice and laughing eyes beckon, here was a notorious yet picturesque, dangerous yet fascinating trio. There was the master of the most adventurous ship on the China Seas, Skipper Gaskell, and the lady known as China Doll, the mystery man, whom everyone knew, yet no one knew.
You're with me from now on, or I'm going to break that pretty little neck of yours just like it was a...
But you taught me something I didn't even know myself. When a woman can love a man right down to a fingernail, she can hate him the same way.
Get out of here.
Oh, I got a mighty good reason for being here.
You've always got a good reason for anything you do. In fact, I don't know anybody that can think up any more remarkable reasons than you can on short notice.
Listen to me, I took an awful chance coming here. I might have got heaved overboard.
Well, don't run any more risk by staying.
And you'll be able to see China Seas next weekend in association with a fantastic film directed by Robert Siodmak called The Great Sinner, featuring Gregory Peck and Ava Gardner. Oh, other treats. Well, there's Cheaper by the Dozen, The Unfinished Dance, Gentleman's Agreement, The Flight of the Phoenix. Some mighty fine drama coming up this week, plus Hedy Lamarr as Tondaleo. Also coming up in just a moment, Bugles in the Afternoon.
In 1947, 2 years after World War II, Hollywood produced one of the most controversial and groundbreaking films the world had seen.
I've asked him to do a series on anti-Semitism. Break it wide open.
Over and above what we feel about it, what must a Jew feel about this thing?
More than a film, it was a voice of the people.
I'm saying I'm Jewish.
You crazy fool.
Winner of 3 Oscars.
They call me a dirty Jew.
Don't treat me to any more lessons of tolerance. I'm sick of it.
Fox Classics presents Gentleman's Agreement.
For the past 6 years, one television home show has reigned supreme.
G'day. Welcome to the program.
Now, Better Homes and Gardens is on the Lifestyle Channel.
Come and have a look.
Get up, get busy, and get with the most popular lifestyle program on TV.
And it just gets better.
Team up with Noni Hazelhurst and crew.
I'm going to show you how.
This is the sort of project the kids can try.
They'll help you put the fix on those great ideas for the house, kitchen, and garden.
Very tempting to climb aboard at this stage.
Make it.
Butte brick Barbie.
Grow it.
Great idea.
Fix it.
Let's get cracking.
Live it.
Fantastic.
Love it.
This is the life.
Sure is.
Better Homes and Gardens premieres Thursday, September 20 on the Lifestyle Channel.
people that have gone back to the homeland, they say something clicks. There's a point of clarity. There's a point where your life is going to be altered.
I remember everything. She was crying inside to me, I'll never see you again.
Even when I'm happy, I'm crying.
Well, compared with The Hill, Bugles in the Afternoon, from a novel by Ernest Haycox, is fairly lightweight. But it's a good story, and the central character in the story is placed in a very interesting conflict situation. I'm referring to Ray Milland. Ray Milland is one of his few movies for Warner Brothers, although one of his most memorable movies was made for Warner Brothers not long after Bugles in the Afternoon, when he played one of the leading roles in Alfred Hitchcock's film of Frederick Knott's Dial M for Murder. Ray Milland is seen here with Helena Carter, his leading lady. And he's rather effective in this film. I like his work. And I've always been rather partial to Forrest Tucker. One of my regrets is I've never heard Forrest Tucker sing any of the numbers from The Music Man, because I believe that in either the late 50s or the early 60s, he did rather well on the road in America playing Harold Hill in The Music Man. And there he is in a shot from Bugles in the Afternoon. Also featured Hugh Marlowe. Some of his best work was done, or some of his best films were, at 20th Century Fox. Remember, he appeared in The Day the Earth Stood Still and, of course, in All About Eve. And here's an interesting lady in the cast of Bugles in the Afternoon. She was a star in the 1930s, but something went wrong. Her star lost its luster, and she only appeared in a few movies later on. She had a small role in Flamingo Road with Joan Crawford. She played a waitress, as Joan did, for some scenes in the picture. And it's Gertrude Michael. There she is in a scene from Bugles in the Afternoon with Ray Milland. I think you'll enjoy this film. Has a good score and direction by Roy Rowland and shot in Technicolor for Warner Brothers. I hope you like it.
The following program is classified PG. Fox Classics advise parental guidance is recommended for persons under 15 years.